Good day, my dear students. It's not good day biscuits. Have a nice day. Okay, that is the meaning. So, good times and good day. So, with a small gap because of UPSC entrance examination. So, let us start as usual our session on properties of haloalkanes, or by common name they are called alkyl halides. So, in our previous session, we studied that there are mainly three types of chemical reactions of haloalkanes and the haloarenes. They are nucleophilic substitution reactions, and the second one is elimination reactions, and the last one was reactions with metals. In that we give priority to reaction with magnesium and the reaction with sodium and the potassium, which are most reactive metals. Okay, so these were the three categories of chemical reactions we have to study under the section chemical properties of haloalkanes and the haloarenes. So with this a small recap. So I welcome you all once again for today's session on the first part of chemical properties of haloalkanes and the haloarenes, that is nucleophilic substitution reactions of halogenoalkanes. So these are called by different names: halogenoalkanes, halogenated alkanes, alkyl halides, haloalkanes. So different books will explain in a different way, but ultimately basic idea is same. They are formed by the replacement of one or more hydrogen atoms from the alkanes by halogens. Okay, so they are called halogen derivatives of hydrocarbons. Okay, right. Now first is what? Nucleophilic substitution reactions of haloalkanes. Nucleophile, nucleus philic, nucleus loving, nucleus attracting. That means who will attract the nucleus? Here nucleus is taken as a plus. So who will attract the plus? It is a minus. So nucleophile means what? It is something which carries negative charge or a neutral molecule which have extra electrons or lone pair of electrons in their structure, ready to give electrons to make a bond. So those categories comes under the what? Intermediates, nucleophiles. Okay, now that nucleophile which attacks on haloalkanes, what happens? So halogen is substituted by a nucleophile. Therefore, these reactions are called nucleophilic substitution reactions of haloalkanes. Okay, right. So why this happens? The basic question is why this happens, because if you see the nature of CX bond, what is CX bond here? C, X stands for any halogen. So C and halogen bond. So halogen is most electronegative, so it draws shared pair of electrons towards itself, becoming a partial negative charge. And because carbon is losing both the shared pair of electrons to chlorine, so it becomes a partial positive charge. Now carbon becomes electron deficient because of this polarity between the C and the Cl on CCl bond. Okay, so because carbon is electron deficient, and nucleophile what? Nucleophile is a -1, so which is seeking the electron deficient or any positive charge. Therefore, that nucleophile will attack on the carbon plus. Okay, so here when nucleophile attacks on the CCl bond of haloalkanes, Cl has to leave the spot, and nucleophile makes the bond. So one side bond making between the C and the nucleophile, other side bond breaking between C and the halogen. So it is a, what is a chemical bond? Chemical bond is a making and a what? A breaking a chemical bond. So in that way chemical compounds are formed. So depend upon some conditions, right? Okay, so nucleophile is called as attacking group, and the halogen or the Cl in particular is called as a leaving group. So totally we have two groups on carbon plus. One is attacking, other one is leaving. Okay, right. Now let us see with example. This is all introduction. Now we see the example. Please see, this is methyl chloride. Okay, and see, electron goes here and becomes a partial negative and the partial positive. Now the bromide is attacking on the carbon plus and making a bond, and Cl comes out. So Cl is called as leaving group, and Br minus is called as what? attacking group. So it was methyl chloride, now it is methyl bromide. Okay, right. Now with here which one is a nucleophile? Here bromide is a nucleophile. But in the second case, ammonia is not having any charge, but ammonia contains one lone pair of electron on nitrogen. Okay, and that is free. It is called lone pair, no, it is free. So that both electrons are given to the one who is in need. Here carbon is in need. So both electrons of nitrogen, of ammonia, are given to carbon plus of haloalkanes. Thereby it makes a bond and forms what? Amines are formed. Your example here, ethyl bromide. Right. So this electron will go and attack on the carbon plus, making bond with this carbon as NH2, and this what? One H is removed, that H and leaving group Br becomes HBr. So in this way, ethyl bromide converts into what? Ethyl amine with the help of what? Ammonia, which carries one lone pair of electrons. So in place of ammonia, if you take water, so water also contains two lone pair of electrons. So water splits into H plus and the OH minus. Here OH minus acts as a nucleophile. That OH minus will act on the carbon plus of the haloalkane and converts haloalkanes into alcohols. Okay, in this way you can go for many examples for the nucleophilic substitution reactions. Okay, in short they are called as SN reactions. Substitution by a nucleophile. So in short, SN reactions. Now how this happens? This is called what? Mechanism. So in chemistry, after the formation of a product, we will introspect or we will check how this has happened, why this product only formed. So which route, whether it is via carbocation or the via carboanion or the free radical or the heterolytic or the homolytic. So which route, which mechanism, which path it has taken. So that scientists will analyze afterwards. So reaction will happen. After happening, why this product is formed and which route, by which path. So that is called mechanism. So mechanism is what? Mechanism is a set of chemical reactions starting from the reactant to the product. How it will go via intermediates, that route is called as what? Mechanism. So let us try to understand mechanism of SN reactions. So by taking the example between methyl bromide and the water or NaOH, where they can furnish OH minus as nucleophile. Please see here, methyl bromide, carbon partial positive, bromide partial negative. Now when the OH minus attacks on the carbon plus, now please see, this is called transition state of reaction, where bromine also is there and OH also there on the carbon. Okay, so what is the valency of carbon? Carbon is tetravalent 4, but here we see 5 valencies around the carbon, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is against the nature, right? Carbon is always tetravalent, but here we find 5 valencies, which is highly unstable. That's why it is called as what? Transition state between the reactants and the products. So here what happens? Once the transition state is attained, afterwards with a less time. Okay, so its lifespan is very short. Within a few seconds, this state will disappear. So where bromine comes out and OH makes a bond, thereby converting the haloalkanes or the bromoalkane to the alcohol. Okay, right. Now you see diagrammatically. So bond breaks, bond makes. Okay, see how it comes, attack nucleophile, it leaves and see the orientation, how it is orienting, making bond. So a small understanding how mechanism of a nucleophilic, that is in short it's called SN reactions. Okay, right. Now here is one more interesting factor regarding SN reactions. So this is our methyl bromide. Here one H is replaced by CH3. This is called primary haloalkane, secondary haloalkane, and this is what? This carbon is surrounded by primary also. This is also primary. Okay, and this is tertiary. Okay. Now why I have taken this example? Because all are bromoalkanes, all are haloalkanes in general. But which haloalkane is more reactive towards the SN reactions? Please see methyl bromide. So around the carbon, 3 hydrogen atoms are there which are small in size. So you please imagine what 3D. structure of methyl bromide. Around the carbon, 3 small hydrogen atoms are there. So that means a lot of space is available around the carbon. So because of this, nucleophile will come and attack on the carbon. Okay, because of the availability of the space. Excuse me. Whereas in the case of this case, 2 are hydrogen, but one is little bulkier. So that means less space available for the nucleophile to attack on the bromine, because as the number of H are decreasing, as the number of CH3 are increasing, so we will have less space around the carbon atom in space. Please imagine in space. So please bring to your mental picture the structure of all these in 3D. Okay, so in 3D we have 2 bulkier methyl groups. Thereby it is hindering the entry. That means it is obstructing the entry of a nucleophile. You see this example. Primary is there, but because of this area again it is little problematic here. You compare, this is also primary, this is also primary, but you compare this primary with this primary. Okay, this primary with only 1 methyl, but here this primary with 3 methyl on the primary. So again bulkier. So nucleophile want to enter in this area, but because of this steric hindrance. Okay, this is called what? Steric hindrance. What is hindrance? Some kind of obstacle or reluctant to react, or that is the meaning of hindrance. What hindrance? Steric hindrance. What is steric? Steric is in space. Arrangement of atoms around a particular atom in space in 3D is called as what? Stereo arrangement. So in space, less space is available for the nucleophile. It is very difficult to enter carbon plus area and make a bond. So more the bulkier around the carbon atom, less is the reactivity. So accordingly, because tertiary carbon atom will have 3 bulkier, so for nucleophile it is very difficult to enter. So you see how he has given relative reactivity. It is slightly more than 1. This is exactly 1. 500 times it is reactive. 40,000 times reactive. 2 lakhs times reactive. That means what? Methyl bromide is so much reactive. The moment you add methyl bromide and any nucleophile, without any extra conditions, it will react. Whereas as you move from methyl to primary, primary to secondary, secondary to tertiary, you have to put an extra condition like temperature, pressure, catalyst, promoter, and in the case of tertiary, it takes a lot of time. It is taken as no reaction. Okay. So because of what? Because of steric hindrance. Okay, right. Now this is diagrammatical way of understanding steric hindrance, steric effect. Okay, see this carbon, right? Primary, secondary, and tertiary. So this is primary carbon atom. You can see aramse. Whereas this is secondary, something is covered. You see in the case of tertiary, almost entire carbon is covered by the bulkier group. So for nucleophile, entry is restricted here. So no reaction. In this way, you can conclude. This is also another way of understanding entry of nucleophile towards positive carbon. Same rule, more the number of bulkier on the carbon plus less is its reactivity. Okay, in the same way, tertiary is less reactive than the secondary, primary than normal. Okay, right. Now same. More reactive, next reactive, least reactive. Okay, right. So either by usual structure method or by 3D method or by the any other method, you will understand why the reactivity will increase from this left to right or decrease from right to left because of the steric problems. This I have taken from the NCERT textbook. Okay, so he has encircled. Okay, these are methyl groups are there. So bulkier, difficult for nucleophile to enter. A nucleophile very clearly, easily entering. But here this is giving problem. Here 2 groups are giving problem to nucleophile, and it is like a traffic jam. Now 3 bulkier, very difficult. Nucleophile will say no, very small space available, very difficult to make a bond. So better to go back. So no reaction here. So in this way you can compare. So here he has compared. So 30x time, 1x time, 0.02x time. Almost taken as 0. Okay, so that means least reactive, no reaction. So in this way we can conclude reaction. That means for the SN2 reaction, reactivity of haloalkanes is what? Primary normal haloalkanes is more reactive than the primary, than the secondary, than the tertiary. But what about the halogens? it is the iodide is more reactive than the bromide, than the chloride, than the fluoride, because iodide is a more bigger in size. So more the bond length, less is the bond enthalpy. So that's why. And for the best combination, if you want to go for the best SN2 reaction, then you combine with the primary, not primary, normal alkali with iodine. Best way to conduct the water, to carry out the reaction. So with this, we will conclude. In the next session, we will discuss few more reactions of SN reactions. Till then, have a nice time and keep studying. Thank you, my dear students.